Welcome back, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of wheat pennies. These iconic coins, minted from 1909 to 1958, are a collector's favorite due to their history and sometimes surprising value. In this video we'll reveal the top 14 most valuable wheat pennies from various years spanning from the 1920s to the 1950s. Let us get started. Our list starts with some early wheat penny treasures. These coins might look modest, but each one has a unique story. Over 310 million of these were minted, but finding one in great condition today is a challenge. In circulated condition it's worth around 30 cents, but high-grade examples can reach $20 or more, worth around 10 to 20 cents, but higher-grade versions can fetch several dollars. The return to copper post-war makes this penny a classic collectible. So there you have it, folks. These 14 wheat pennies are packed with history and in some cases surprising value. From early 1920s coins to wartime pennies and of course the iconic 1955 double die, each coin tells a story. Look for unique features like double dies and BAE errors. Focus on high-grade coins if possible, these hold the most value, and always check for steel planchets, especially with 1944 pennies.
The 1920 wheat penny will cover its history, design, value, and some of the most interesting details that make this coin stand out. Let us get started. The 1920 Lincoln wheat penny is a remarkable piece of American coin history designed by Victor David Brenner. This penny is part of the iconic wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. This series was the first to feature President Abraham Lincoln on U.S. coinage and was introduced to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. The reverse with its two wheat stalks symbolizes prosperity, making it one of the most recognizable U.S. coin designs. The obverse features Lincoln's right profile, with the inscriptions "I and God We Trust" along the top, Liberty on the left, and the mint year 1920 on the right. The reverse showcases the two iconic wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum. Above, in 1923 mints produced this penny: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Here are their mintage numbers: Philadelphia No mint mark 316165000, Denver D mint mark 49280000, San Francisco S mint mark 46220000. The 1920 Philadelphia penny is the most common, while the Denver and San Francisco pennies are scarcer, particularly in higher grades. Now let us talk about value. The value of a 1920 penny depends on its condition and mint mark. Common value ranges: 1920 no mint mark Philadelphia good G4 15 cents 50 cents, fine F12 50 cents, $1 extremely fine EF $42. $5 uncirculated MS 60 plus $15 $25. 1920 D Denver good G4 75 cents, $2 fine F12 $3 $6 extremely fine EF $48. $15 uncirculated MS 60 plus $30 $60. 1920 S San Francisco good G4 $1 $2.50 fine F12 $5 $10 extremely fine EF $40 $20 $30 uncirculated MS 60 plus $50 $100 plus. Uncirculated coins, or those with high grades like MS 65, can fetch even higher prices, especially for the scarcer Denver and San Francisco mint marks. 1920 wheat pennies with errors can add significant value. Here are some errors to look out for: rare and can increase value considerably. Misstruck coins can be worth from $20 to hundreds depending on the percentage off-center. This error, where a small die crack between the B and E in Liberty creates the appearance of an I, is also collectible. If you're collecting, focus on condition and rarity. Try to find coins with minimal wear, especially for the San Francisco and Denver mint marks. Certified coins from reputable grading companies can be a good investment. Collecting tips: prioritize mint condition coins for better value. Check for error varieties to enhance your collection. Consider grading services for high-quality examples. Today wheat pennies are popular for collectors due to their history and design. While most 1920 pennies are affordable, high-grade and rare varieties hold long-term value. That's all for today's look at the 1920 wheat penny. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, this coin is a staple in American coinage history. The 1935 wheat penny will cover its fascinating history, what makes this coin special, and of course its potential value. So whether you're a collector or just curious, stick around. We've got all the details you need. The 1935 wheat penny is a classic coin with an interesting backstory. Produced during the Great Depression, this coin represents an era when the U.S. was struggling economically, yet the penny itself saw steady circulation. Like other wheat pennies, it features the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse symbolizing growth and prosperity. Let us take a look at the design. The 1935 penny, like other wheat cents, has Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design first introduced in 1909 by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Brenner's initials VDB can be found on some earlier versions but were left off of most 1935 coins. The reverse side features two wheat stalks representing abundance and prosperity. The 1935 penny was part of the longest-running series featuring the same U.S. president. Displayed different 1935 penny examples with DS and no mint mark in 1935 pennies. Were produced at three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins have no mint mark while Denver coins have a D, and San Francisco pennies have an S. While the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced large quantities, the San Francisco mint's production was lower, making S-marked pennies slightly rarer. Grading scale graphic from poor P to mint state MS alongside images of different grade examples. The value of a 1935 wheat penny largely depends on its condition or grade. A worn penny in good condition may only be worth a few cents, but an uncirculated one in mint state can be worth considerably more. Keep an eye out for strong details on Lincoln's face and clear wheat lines on the reverse, as these can boost the coin's grade and in turn its value. So what is a 1935 penny worth? In general, circulated 1935 pennies from Philadelphia might be valued around 10-20 cents, while those from Denver or San Francisco could be slightly more. But in higher grades, especially uncirculated ones, a 1935 penny can range from $5 to $25, with some pristine examples even reaching $50 or more. Coin grading and rarity play a huge role in determining value. Now let us talk about special varieties and errors. Some 1935 pennies may show a double die error, which means certain letters or numbers appear doubled due to a misalignment in the minting process. These are rarer and can add significant value. Always examine your coins carefully for any unusual features. You never know when you might have a unique error penny. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, storing your coins properly is key. Keep them in a cool, dry place, and consider using protective sleeves to preserve their condition. And remember, if you're uncertain about the grade or authenticity of a rare coin, it's always wise to consult a professional appraiser or grading service. And that's a wrap on the 1935 wheat penny. From its historical roots to its collectible value, this penny is a small but significant piece of American history. The 1936 wheat penny will cover its history, design details, and of course its value. The 1936 wheat penny comes from an important time in U.S. history, struck during the Great Depression. This coin reflects an era of economic hardship but also resilience. President Franklin D. Roosevelt was implementing New Deal policies, and Americans were finding hope and recovery through government programs and job creation. The wheat penny series, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, had been in circulation since 1909, and its iconic wheat stalks on the reverse side symbolize growth and abundance. The obverse features President Abraham Lincoln commemorating his legacy and contributions to the United States. Let's take a closer look at the details of this coin. On the obverse we have Lincoln's profile along with the inscription, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1936. The reverse side has the iconic wheat ears on each side and reads 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum at the top. Now there are three main mint marks for the 1936 wheat penny. No mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint produced the highest quantity, while the Denver and San Francisco mintages are a bit lower, which can impact their value. So what's this coin worth today? Well, the value of a 1936 wheat penny can range based on its condition and mint mark. Let's break it down. Good to very good condition, typically worth around 10 cents to $0.20. Fine to very fine condition, about 50 cents to $1. Extra fine condition, around $2 to $4. Mint state MS 60 or higher can range from $10 up to $20 or more. Coins with high grades, particularly in uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated conditions, are where the true value lies for collectors. Coins graded MS 65 or higher can be worth around $50 or more depending on the mint mark. One interesting aspect of the 1936 wheat penny is that there are known varieties and errors that can make certain coins even more valuable. The most notable is the double die obverse DDO error. This error occurs when the obverse side of the coin is struck twice slightly off from each other, giving it a doubled appearance on the date and inscriptions. A genuine 1936 double die obverse penny can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars if in high grade, so it's definitely worth checking your 1936 penny closely for any doubling. So, is the 1936 wheat penny a valuable find for everyday collectors? It's accessible, historic, and affordable, making it a perfect addition to a beginner's collection. If you're lucky enough to find a high-grade or error coin, you could be looking at a much higher value. And remember to preserve your coin's condition, store it in a protective case or a coin album. Avoid cleaning your coins, as this can reduce their value significantly. The 1937 1-cent wheat penny. We'll explore its history, unique details, and current value on the market. Let's jump right in. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, was designed by Victor D. Brenner and was first minted in 1909. The 1937 wheat penny is part of this iconic series produced during the Great Depression. This era reflects the resilience of the American spirit, and pennies like the 1937 wheat cent were exchanged in the pockets of people across the country. The obverse side features Abraham Lincoln, and on the reverse side we see two wheat stalks surrounding the denomination and the phrase 1 cent. This design was intended to symbolize prosperity and unity. Highlight the mint marks and different varieties using close-ups of 1937 wheat pennies with different mint marks. In 1937 the wheat penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced a slightly different quantity, leading to different levels of rarity. Here's a breakdown. The Philadelphia mint version has no mint mark and is the most common. The Denver mint version bears a D mint mark. The San Francisco mint version, marked with an S, is the scarcest among the 3. While the Philadelphia mint produced over 309 million coins, Denver and San Francisco produced around 50 million and 34 million coins respectively. Collectors often look for the D and S mint marks, as these can sometimes add to the coin's value, especially in higher grades. One of the biggest factors affecting the value of a 1937 wheat penny is its condition, also known as its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from good G4 to mint state MS65 and above. A well-circulated 1937 penny may only be worth a few cents, while a mint condition coin with little wear and strong details can fetch much higher prices. For example, an uncirculated MS65 penny from the Philadelphia mint can be worth around $5 to $15, while higher grades with red coloration caused by original copper luster are even more valuable. The 1937 wheat penny has some notable errors that can significantly increase its value. The most famous error for this year is the double die error, particularly on the obverse side. This type of error occurs when the design is struck twice, leading to a slightly shifted doubled appearance on letters or numbers. Finding a 1937 penny with a clear doubling on "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" could mean a significant increase in value. Other valuable errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, and lamination errors, all of which can make the 1937 penny a special find for collectors. So how much is a 1937 wheat penny worth today? For circulated coins, a Philadelphia mint penny typically goes for around 10 cents to $0.50. Denver and San Francisco mint pennies are a bit higher, usually between 20 cents and $1 in lower grades, but for coins in pristine uncirculated condition, value can reach $20 or even higher if the penny has strong red coloration or a rare error. Keep in mind that the coin's historical significance and nostalgic value often exceed its monetary worth. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1937 wheat penny is a wonderful addition. It's a tangible piece of American history from a challenging era, reflecting the resilience of the nation. And who knows, you might just find one hiding in a coin jar or an old collection. The 1944 1-cent wheat penny, one of the most collectible Lincoln pennies. Whether you're a collector or just curious, join us as we explore its history, details, and potential value. Today we're uncovering everything you need to know about the 1944 wheat penny, from its intriguing history to its current value. Whether you have one in your collection or just found one in loose change, keep watching to find out if it's worth something extra. Historical images of 1940s America and U.S. minting facilities. The 1944 wheat penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series. First issued in 1909, 1944 was a unique year for this coin because, unlike the previous year, the U.S. Mint returned to using copper instead of steel. During World War II in 1943, copper was diverted for the war effort, so pennies were made of steel. However, in 1944 the mint reverted to copper, which makes these pennies distinctive for collectors. Let's take a closer look at the design. The obverse or front features Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse we see the classic wheat ears design that gives the coin its nickname, along with the words 1 cent United States of America and E pluribus unum. The 1944 penny has a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Comparison of 1944 pennies with P, D, and S mint marks. There were millions of 1944 pennies minted. With coins produced in Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Each of these mint marks carries slight differences in value depending on condition, and rarities like errors can increase their worth significantly. Examples of error coins with explanations. Error coins are the gems for any collector. The 1944 wheat penny has a few known varieties, including the 1944 D over S mint mark error, where a Denver mint mark was stamped over a San Francisco one, and the steel penny error, which was an accidental carryover from 1943. These errors can fetch a premium at auction value of the 1944 wheat penny. The value of a 1944 penny can vary. A typical 1944 penny in circulated condition might be worth a few cents, but an uncirculated or high-grade coin could be worth several dollars. Error coins like the 1944 D over S can reach hundreds of dollars depending on condition and rarity. Collection tips and care instructions. Narration. If you're looking to add a 1944 penny to your collection, consider checking local coin shops or online marketplaces. Be sure to look for coins that are well preserved with clear details, and if possible consider having rare varieties graded by a professional service. The 1944 wheat penny is a fascinating coin with a rich history. Whether you're collecting for fun or hoping to find a valuable error, this penny is an iconic piece of American numismatic history. The 1945 wheat penny will explore its history, design, and most importantly its value. So if you're a coin collector or just curious, stick around to discover what makes this coin special. The year 1945 was pivotal in U.S. history, marking the end of World War II. During this period, Americans were working hard to recover, and everyday items like the penny held significant value. This backdrop of resilience adds a fascinating context to the 1945 wheat penny. The 1945 wheat penny features the classic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side you'll see the two wheat ears symbolizing prosperity. This design made the wheat penny iconic, and its simplicity is part of its charm. Wheat stalks framing 1 cent. United States of America. In 1945 millions of these pennies were minted. Erased. The breakdown by mint location. With over 1 billion produced in Philadelphia alone, 1945 wheat pennies aren't exactly rare. However, coins in exceptional condition or with certain errors can hold significant value. The value of a 1945 wheat penny largely depends on its condition. Graded on a scale from poor P1 to mint state MS70, typically worth around 5 to 10 cents. Uncirculated mint state MS60 to MS63, worth $1 to $5. High mint state MS65 or higher could be valued at $15 to $20 or more. Some 1945 pennies feature interesting errors that can increase their value to collector. These errors, especially if on 1 cent or Lincoln's profile, are valuable. A misaligned or off-center strike can make a penny worth more. Look closely at the D or S mint marks. A repunched mark could add to the coin's value. These error coins can be worth anywhere from $20 to several $100s depending on rarity and demand. If you want to know if your 1945 wheat penny is valuable, and here's what to check for: look for minimal wear on Lincoln's face coat and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Check for any error markings like doubling or a repunched mint mark. And of course, a brilliant shine without scratches or dings can mean higher value. In recent years, high-grade 1945 pennies and error varieties have sold at auction for impressive prices. For instance, an MS67 example might fetch upwards of $100, and rare error coins can go even higher. Whether you're a casual collector or a coin enthusiast, the 1945 wheat penny offers a little piece of American history. Its historical context, affordable entry point, and potential for value make it a popular choice. Be sure to check your change, and maybe you'll find a piece of history. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny. If you've come across this penny or are just curious about it, stick around as we explore its fascinating details. In 1946, the United States was transitioning to peacetime after the end of World War II. This era saw an economic boom and people were eager to rebuild and grow. The 1946 penny struck right after the war, represents a time when the country was redefining itself and embracing peace. It's a symbol of hope and resilience from this critical point in American history. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the obverse side we see the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. Brenner's initials VDB are located just below Lincoln's shoulder, but they were not added back until the 1918 issues. Surrounding Lincoln is the text, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty" on the left, and the minting date on the right side. On the reverse side, the wheat penny design displays two wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, designed to symbolize abundance and prosperity. Above we see the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many. 1. This is the classic design used from 1909 until 1958. In 1946, 3 main mints produced the Lincoln Wheat Penny: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Here's the breakdown of mintages. Philadelphia Mint: no mint mark, produced over 991 million coins marked with a small d under the date. Minted around 315 million coins marked with an S, produced roughly 198 million coins. The high production numbers make this a common coin, but certain characteristics still make it desirable for collectors. Point 1 of the interesting facts about the 1946 wheat penny is its return to a standard copper composition. Due to the war effort, the U.S. Mint used zinc-coated steel in 1943, which was easier to source for wartime needs. But in 1946 the penny returned to its 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc composition. This makes it similar in feel and weight to pre-war wheat pennies, adding to its nostalgic appeal. Now let's talk about the value. Generally, 1946 wheat pennies aren't extremely rare, but they still have value among collectors. Here's a quick look. A typical 1946 penny in circulated condition is worth around 3 to 10 cents. For those in mint or uncirculated condition, the value rises to about $2 to $4 depending on the grade. High grade MS65 or higher. If you find one in a pristine condition graded MS65 or higher, it could be worth around $20 or more. Although no official proof coins were struck, rare errors like off-centers, double dies, or clipped planchets can fetch significantly more. Collectors are always on the lookout for error coins, which can be worth more than regular 1946 pennies. Known errors include this error features doubling in the lettering or design and can be quite valuable. If the coin was struck off-center, it becomes a unique piece with increased value. Sometimes coins were struck on planchets with a clipped edge, giving them a unique look. These errors can increase the value significantly, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars depending on rarity and demand. If you're interested in collecting 1946 wheat pennies, here are some tips. Look for well-preserved coins, as condition plays a significant role in value. Keep an eye out for any of the errors we mentioned, they can add considerable value. Use coin holders or albums to protect your pennies from oxidation and wear. Getting high-quality coins professionally graded can enhance their value and authenticity. And there you have it, the full story of the 1946 wheat penny. It may not be a rare coin, but its historical background and design make it a wonderful piece of American numismatic history. The 1947 wheat penny. This little coin has a lot of history, unique features, and for some of you might even have a little value tucked inside. Whether you're a collector, a history buff, or just found one of these in your pocket change, let's explore the story behind the 1947 wheat penny and what makes it special. Before we get into the specifics of the 1947 penny, let's take a quick look at the wheat penny series itself. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin was the first U.S. penny to feature a real person, Abraham Lincoln, and his portrait remains on our pennies today. The wheat penny design lasted until 1958, when the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial. Now let's focus on the 1947 wheat penny. The year 1947 was just after World War II, and the country was rebuilding and growing. Like most wheat pennies from the 1940s, the 1947 cent was made primarily from copper, as this was before the transition to the zinc-plated steel penny of 1943 and long before the current copper-plated zinc pennies. Around 190 million of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, and around 99 million at the Denver Mint, which carry a D mint mark. Son, how do you know if your 1947 penny has any value? First, check the mint mark. A 1947 penny with no mint mark is from Philadelphia, while a D indicates it was minted in Denver. Generally, 1947 pennies aren't super rare, but there are certain things collectors look for that can make them more valuable. The first is condition. Anything in uncirculated or high-grade condition is worth more to collectors. Point one thing that can boost the value of a 1947 wheat penny is an error or variety. Here are a couple of the main errors you should look for. Look for doubling on the date or letters like "In Liberty" or "In God We Trust." These errors can be subtle, so a magnifying glass might help. This occurs when the D mint mark was struck more than once, leading to a shadow effect. This is only for Denver minted pennies. Coins with these errors can sometimes be worth quite a bit more, especially if they're in good condition. Now let's talk value. Most 1947 wheat pennies in average circulated condition are worth around 5 to 10 cents, but if you have a high-grade example, you could be looking at several dollars. Here's a breakdown. Generally worth between 5 to 15 cents, worth around 25 cents to $1. Uncirculated MS-60, MS-65. These coins can go for $2 to $10 or more depending on quality and any errors present. For a top quality 1947 penny graded at MS-66 or higher, collectors may be willing to pay over $50. How to preserve and store your wheat pennies. Host demonstrating coin holder storage boxes and proper handling techniques. If you found a 1947 wheat penny or a collection of them, it's important to store them properly. Try to avoid touching the surface of the coin. Fingerprints can cause damage over time. Use coin holders or albums which are designed to protect your coins from dust, air and moisture. Keeping your coins safe is a great way to maintain their value for years to come. In summary, the 1947 wheat penny is a charming piece of history. While it may not be the most valuable coin in your collection, certain varieties and conditions can make it a worthwhile find. Keep an eye out for errors, check the condition, and if you're a collector, enjoy this beautiful piece of American history. The 1951 wheat penny, its value, history, and all the details you need to know. Could this penny be a valuable addition to your collection? Let's find out. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the beloved Lincoln wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this series honors Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The iconic wheat ears on the reverse side symbolize prosperity and growth. In 1951, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these pennies, continuing a tradition that celebrated Lincoln's legacy. Let's talk about the coin specifications. The 1951 wheat penny has a composition of 95% copper with a 5% mixture of tin and zinc. It weighs about 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. The obverse shows Lincoln's profile, while the reverse displays the iconic wheat stalks on either side of the words 1 cent and United States of America. 1951 pennies were struck in 3 different U.S. Mint locations. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Most of these pennies were minted here. Denver, D mint mark. A large quantity came from Denver as well. San Francisco, S mint mark. Fewer were produced here, so these are often more collectible. The mint mark can be found just below the date on the front of the coin. If there's no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia. A D or S below the date indicates Denver or San Francisco respectively. Here's a quick look at the mintage numbers for each location. Philadelphia, about 284 million minted, around 625 million minted, approximately 136 million minted. As you can see, the Denver Mint produced the most, while the San Francisco Mint produced the fewest, making the S mint mark generally a bit rarer and more desirable for collectors. Now on to the part you've been waiting for: values. The 1951 wheat penny is fairly common, but its condition, mint mark and errors can all affect its price. For a well-circulated 1951 penny, the value is typically around 3 to 5 cents. Denver and Philadelphia varieties are common, while San Francisco pennies might go for slightly more. In better condition, prices can range from 10 to 50 cents. Uncirculated mint state MS. If you have a 1951 penny in mint condition, it could be worth anywhere from $1 to $5 and even more for higher grades. Some coins graded MS-65 and above can go for around $20 or more. Keep an eye out for these rare errors that can increase your penny's value. Double die obverse DDO. Look for doubling on the date or the lettering on the front of the coin. These are coins that were struck off center, making them valuable to error collectors. Some pennies have a mint mark that was struck more than once, creating a shadow effect. This can add to a coin's value, especially in higher grades. Error coins can sell for anywhere from $20 to several $100s depending on the type and condition. Here are some quick tips if you're looking to add a 1951 penny to your collection or check the value of one you already have. Check the condition first. Coins in better condition will always fetch a higher price. Look for errors. Examine your coin under magnification for any doubling or unusual features. Get your coin graded for high values if you think you have an especially valuable 1951 penny. Getting it professionally graded can help you fetch a better price. Remember, even though this coin is relatively common, well-preserved or error-filled examples are sought after by collectors. So there you have it, the complete story of the 1951 wheat penny. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this coin is a fantastic piece of American history. It might not make you a fortune, but who knows, you might have a rare gem in your collection. The 1952 1-cent wheat penny. If you've ever wondered about its value history and what makes it special, you're in the right place. The 1952 wheat penny is part of the iconic series that features the famous wheat ears design on the reverse side created by renowned engraver Victor David Brenner. This design was used on the Lincoln penny from 1909 until 1958. But before we talk about the specifics of the 1952 coin, let's take a brief look at its background. The Lincoln penny was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The reverse side showcases two stalks of wheat symbolizing abundance and prosperity. In 1952 the U.S. Mint produced a significant number of these pennies. The total mintage was approximately 1.2 billion coins, making it relatively common among collectors. But let's break down the details. The 1952 wheat penny can come in several grades, and the condition significantly affects its value. Here's a quick breakdown: good G4 10 to 30 cents, fine F12 30 to 75 cents, very fine VF 27 75 cents to $1.50, extra fine EF $41.50 to $3, uncirculated MS $63 $5. Full red uncirculated MS $65 up to $15 or more. These prices can vary based on demand, so it's always good to check current market trends. Interestingly, while the 1952 penny is common, certain variations can fetch higher prices. For example, the 1952D minted in Denver and the 1952S from San Francisco also have similar values, but their mint marks may appeal to collectors looking for specific regional coins. Now let's talk about what makes the 1952 wheat penny special. It's not just its historical significance, but also its role in the larger context of American currency. The wheat penny symbolizes a period in American history marked by growth and recovery post-World War II. It also holds nostalgic value for many who remember finding these coins in their change. Collectors love the wheat penny series for its design and historical relevance. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting, the 1952 penny is a fantastic addition to any collection. So there you have it. The 1952 1-cent wheat penny is not just a coin, it's a piece of history. The 1952 1-cent wheat penny will explore its value, unique features, historical context, and what collectors should know. So let's get started. The 1952 wheat penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, and it's part of the iconic Lincoln penny series that features the famous wheat stalks on the reverse side. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin showcases Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, symbolizing American history in values. On the obverse, you'll see the inscription "In God We Trust" above Lincoln's bust, with liberty to his left and the year 1952 to his right. The reverse features two stalks of wheat with the words 1 cent and United States of America prominently displayed. In 1952 the U.S. Mint produced more than 1.1 billion wheat pennies across all facilities, with the Denver Mint producing approximately 400 million of them. This high mintage means that the 1952 penny is relatively common, but certain conditions can make it more desirable to collectors. Now let's talk about value. The worth of a 1952 penny varies based on its condition. In good G condition you can expect it to be worth about 1 cent. In fine F condition it can go up to 5 to 10 cents. In very fine VF condition, the value increases to around 15 to 25 cents. For extremely fine EF examples, it may be worth about 50 cents to $1. Finally, a mint state MS coin, especially if it's well preserved, can fetch $3 to $5 or more depending on market demand. The 1952 penny holds a unique place in history. The early 1950s in America were marked by post-war economic expansion, and coins like the wheat penny were widely used in everyday transactions. The series was phased out in 1959, giving way to the Lincoln Memorial design, making the wheat pennies a nostalgic reminder of a different era. If you're looking to start or add to your collection, here are some tips for collecting the 1952 wheat penny. Some coins may have unique minting errors, which can increase their value significantly. Coins in excellent condition are more sought after, so always examine for wear and tear. Stay updated on current market trends and values by checking coin valuation websites or joining collector forums. The 1953 1-cent wheat penny. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, there's a lot to uncover about this iconic coin. So let's get started. The 1953 1-cent wheat penny minted by the United States features the famous wheat ear design on the reverse side. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, was used from 1909 until 1958. The obverse showcases the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, which has been a staple of U.S. currency since its introduction. The 1953 penny was minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint produced the standard coin without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint added a D to signify its origin. To understand the 1953 penny's significance, you need to look back at its history. The wheat penny was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. It was a departure from the Indian head design that preceded it, representing a new era in American coinage. By the time we reached 1953, the U.S. was experiencing post-war economic growth. The penny remained an essential part of everyday transactions, reflecting the changes in American society. Now let's delve into the specifics of the 1953 wheat penny. The coin is made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing in at 2.5 grams. Its diameter is 19.05 millimeters, typical for U.S. pennies of this era. There are two main varieties to note: the 1953 Philadelphia and the 1953 Denver. The Philadelphia version has a larger mintage of about 229 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced around 112 million. Both types are relatively common, making them accessible for collectors. So what is the value of the 1953 wheat penny? In general, these coins are not particularly rare, but their condition can significantly affect their market price. As of now, a well-circulated 1953 penny can be worth about 2 to 5 cents. In uncirculated condition, prices can rise to between 10 and 25 cents. However, if you have a coin that's in exceptionally good shape or a rare variety, it could fetch a higher price. If you're a collector or just starting, it's essential to know how to care for your coins. Always handle them by the edges to avoid fingerprints and keep them in a cool, dry place. Using coin holders or albums can also help preserve their condition. The 1953 1-cent wheat penny is more than just a piece of currency. It's a glimpse into America's past and a reminder of the changes our nation has undergone. Whether you collect for fun or investment, every penny has a story to tell. The 1955 1-cent wheat penny. If you're a collector or just curious about coins, you won't want to miss this. Let's get started. The 1955 wheat penny is part of the Lincoln Penny series, first issued in 1909. These coins were minted to honor President Abraham Lincoln and feature his portrait on the obverse side. The reverse displays two stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. In 1955, the U.S. Mint produced over 1 billion wheat pennies, specifically 126,721. 6000 to be exact. The Philadelphia Mint struck the 1955 pennies without a mint mark, while the Denver and San Francisco Mints produced additional versions marked with D and S respectively. But here's where it gets interesting. One of the most famous varieties of the 1955 penny is the double die variety. This era coin features a noticeable doubling of the letters on the obverse, especially in God We Trust and Liberty. This rare error was caused by the die being misaligned during the minting process, and it's one of the most sought-after varieties among collectors today. So what's the value of the 1955 wheat penny? The typical 1955 penny in average condition is worth about 2 to 3 cents. However, if you have a 1955 double die penny, its value skyrockets. Depending on its condition, it can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to over $1,500 for well-preserved specimens. If you're looking to add a 1955 wheat penny to your collection, here are some tips. First, check for the double die variety by looking closely at the lettering on the obverse. Next, pay attention to the coin's condition. Coins graded higher by professional services can significantly increase in value. And finally, always store your coins properly to avoid damage. The 1950s were a significant era in American history. The U.S. was experiencing post-war economic growth, and the Lincoln penny became a symbol of prosperity and hope. Collecting coins from this period not only adds value to your collection but also connects you to the stories and events of that time. The 1957 wheat penny. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious, you won't want to miss this. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln penny, was produced by the United States Mint from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. This design was created to honor Lincoln's legacy and was beloved by collectors and the public alike. Display a timeline graphic highlighting the introduction of the wheat penny in 1909 and its production through 1958. The 1957 wheat penny was minted at the Denver Mint. Here are some important details about this coin. The D indicates that it was struck in Denver, made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It has a rich copper color, 19 mm, the standard size for U.S. pennies. weight approximately 2.5 grams. The design features Lincoln on the front and the wheat sheaves on the back along with the words 1 cent and e pluribus unum. In 1957 the Denver Mint produced over 1 billion wheat pennies. The exact mintage for the 1957 D is approximately 105-111-6000, making it one of the most common coins in the wheat penny series. While there are no major varieties for the 1957 D, collectors may find minor die variations which can slightly affect value. Now let's talk about the value of the 1957 D wheat penny. Due to its high mintage, this coin is widely available and generally not very valuable, especially in circulated condition. Here's a quick breakdown of its value based on condition: good G 2 cents to 5 cents, fine F 10 cents to 20 cents, very fine VF 25 cents to 50 cents, extra fine EF 75 cents to $1.50, uncirculated MS 60 plus $2 to $5 for uncirculated examples, or those with high grades prices can reach upwards of $10 or more, particularly if graded by a professional service. If you're looking to add a 1957 D wheat penny to your collection, here are a few tips. Look for coins with minimal wear for better value. Having your coin graded can enhance its resale potential. Engage with other collectors online or at local coin shows for insights and trading opportunities. Remember, the joy of collecting isn't just about the value but also the history behind each coin. Thanks for joining us today as we explored the 1957 D wheat penny. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more numismatic content, and leave a comment below about your favorite coins. Happy collecting and see you next time.